What is up, dudes? I'm XIKIZOID, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Mars and terraforming Mars because I'm super into that right now. And in the meantime, I'm going to be doing my makeup. I'm probably going to be doing this as a voiceover just to save time. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and I hope you enjoy.
What is up, dudes? It is Vicky from the voiceover, and today you're probably wondering why we're talking about terraforming Mars while I'm doing my makeup. I know it's kind of weird, but honestly, like months ago, I did my makeup, the same makeup look that I did today, and it really reminded me of like this Martian goddess or how you would envision one. So yeah, I think it looks like super good, in my opinion. At least from my skill level, it's pretty good, and I'm not very skilled with makeup. So anyway, let's talk about terraforming. I really just am super interested in the whole idea of us leaving Earth one day, or maybe a portion of humanity leaving Earth because of like random reasons. But yeah, so what's terraforming? Terraforming is basically when you do some planetary engineering on another planet to make this planet emulate Earth's current conditions. Basically, terraforming means earth shaping, and the goal is to make the planet more habitable for humans. And planetary engineering isn't the exact term for this, and terraforming is basically making a planet more Earth like by changing up the ecology, the atmosphere, and so on. You maybe want to bring your dog to Mars, maybe want to bring your cat, so you should be able to, and even plants, dude, we have to live off of some food, once we're there. So, obviously, like plants and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my dryer, it's done drying out. Let me just go and check that out. And basically, the reason for terraforming is because there might be a higher population growth of humanity, and this leads to what? Higher need for resources. So space colonization of objects such as the moon and Mars, and maybe even other planets in the future. That's basically something that I believe is going to become inevitable if humanity continues to grow as it does right now, and if the growth is also exponential. And basically, this whole terraforming thing, moving to other planets, that's basically to decrease the chance of human extinction. Like, duh. So, why do we want to terraform Mars and not some other planet? Well, Mars is currently considered to be the most Earth-like planet in the solar system because it had an Earth-like stage in its geological history. It had like a thicker atmosphere, it had more water, and stuff like that. So, the side effects of terraforming can be like the potential destruction of Martian life forms if there exist any. And we're not talking about like straight up aliens, like little Martians running around. We're talking about like microbial little beings that are like, maybe they have some algae there, maybe they have something of the sort that is indigenous to Mars. And obviously, it's a very ethical concern whether we should go and interfere with their evolution. So that's something that worries me a lot. Like, we first need to figure out whether there's stuff there, and then we have to figure out, oh my god, is it ethical to interfere? So basically, that isn't the only like side effect or the only danger of terraforming. There are others like the lower gravity there. The gravity there is 38% of Earth's gravity only, and that is like super low for us. And low gravity can have very bad impacts on the human body. Then Mars has no magnetic field, which means no protection against the solar winds, which isn't actual wind, it's like streams of charged particles from the sun. Then Mars also has lower levels of lighting, about 60% less than on Earth. And like we said, there are some ethical concerns, like maybe there's life forms over there that we should not be disturbing. And obviously, one of the biggest challenges is the incredibly high cost levels of this whole operation. Then we have the soil on Mars and the atmosphere are incredibly toxic to us. The atmospheric pressure is only 1% of Earth's atmospheric pressure, and that's lower than the Armstrong limit, which is basically like a very bad. It's like very bad for humans because it can cause like heart problems, neurological changes, and even death. Because basically on Mars, your lungs and all of the water in your body can like boil, and you're basically gonna boil to death, and that's like super gruesome, but also kind of epic. So there's also super bad like ionizing solar radiation and cosmic radiation on the actual surface of the planet. And the average temperature is minus 63 Celsius. Compared to Earth, over here the average temperature is 14 degrees Celsius on the plus side, you know. So there's like a huge discrepancy between these temperatures. So yeah, there's also like huge dust storms on Mars and no natural food sources for us. And there is molecular instability there. So terraforming methods, like generally, when you're terraforming Mars, what you want to do is create a greenhouse effect in order to make the temps higher, and also to create a nice and good atmosphere and building up the magnetosphere that we talked about earlier. So I'm just gonna go over like the basic terraforming methods. I'm not gonna get like too deep into them because they're like whole topics and whole videos on their own. But the first one is to import ammonia, and that's basically gonna entail changing the orbit of like objects with high ammonia content and make them crash into Mars. Like what the but okay, the next one is to import hydrocarbons from Titan, and the third one is to basically use fluorine compounds, which are also called CFCs. They're predicted to both up the temperature and also keep it stable. Like Cardi said, like if it's up, then it's stuck with all these compounds, you know. And how to do it? There's like two methods. The first one is locally on Mars with Martian materials and some nuclear power and stuff like that. And the second method is to send rockets filled with CFC payloads to Mars and make them collide with the planet, basically make a huge crash, and they're gonna like release naturally all of the CFCs, the fluorine compounds, and they're gonna create this greenhouse effect, so it can make the temperature higher. And there's another like really cool, really like weird concept, that like a method for terraforming Mars, and that is just sending orbital mirrors, and they're gonna be placed into the Martian orbit, and this will direct sunlight into the surface and increase the surface temperatures like very significantly. And then the fifth method is to reduce the radiation reflected by the surface of Mars by placing extremophile organisms such as algae, bacteria, you know, stuff like that, that are super resistant to all kinds of radiation and basically very bad circumstances and environment that we cannot as humans endure. So that's basically the idea. These organisms can reduce the radiation just by living there, you know. And then we have the last method, which is ecopoiesis. I'm hoping I'm accurately pronouncing this, but this basically entails sending sealed biodomes that have colonies of cyanobacteria that basically produce oxygen, and that's the whole idea, to produce oxygen on Mars, and that's one of the methods. So yeah, I think that was all of it. Like this is like honestly a very basic like breakdown of like terraforming. Obviously, it's just a makeup video, dude, and I'm just like sharing what I learned, because I really love learning about these things, reading about these things. But I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm not a Martian scientist or something like that. Like I'm just a normal person, okay? But yeah, so don't come for me if I got anything wrong. Like, educate me. I'm willing to learn more. Leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.